Hey guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel PMYG-Edu. In the last video, we have discussed and learned about applications of C++ in detail. We also have, different applications of C++. I'm gonna review that before we get into the new topic. So the applications of C++ are operating systems and because of C++ being a strongly typed fast programming language, so because of it being a fast programming language, it is used in operating systems, and also we have discussed that it is used in GUI based applications, browsers, graphics, libraries, cloud computing, Adobe scanning, banking applications, etc. So So today our topic and our agenda is iteration statements. We're going to discuss what is an iteration statement and what types of iteration statements are there. And each of them has a blocked flow chart, a block diagram, and an example program for you to get a better understanding. So what is an iteration statement? I'm gonna give you some time for you to think and answer this question. All right. I hope you have given some answer on your notebook. Please maintain the notes. All right. So what is an iteration? An iteration is a sequence of one or more statements that are repeatedly executed until a condition is satisfied. That means you give some condition and you give two or three or four, like two or more statements, and until this condition is satisfied, the three or four statements will be executed. That's the basic concept of iteration. These statements are also called as control flow statements because they are controlling the flow of the execution of the program. It is used to reduce the length of code. Instead of writing print x if x is less than 1, multiple times, if checking it and again writing the same code, we can reduce the length of the code, and to reduce time waste we can use these iteration statements. So in C++, we have three types of iteration statements, as you can see in the box. You have to note down the box. It will be very easy for you to understand once you note on the box. So first one is for statement. The second one, while. Third one, do while. All looping statements repeat a set of statements as long as specified condition is true, as we have discussed earlier. So we give a condition, we write down certain set of statements, and until the condition is satisfied, the set of statements will be executed. So that is called a loop. So there are four parts of a loop: initialization expression, test expression, update expression, the body of the loop. Initialization expression is we give a value, an initial value to the expression, and then we test the expression. Update means when the value given in the initialization expression will be updated, and then body of the loop, that means the statements that we give under the condition. So first one is for loop. The for loop is the easiest looping statement, which allows code to be executed repeatedly. It contains three different statements. So the for loop basically has three parts. First one is initialization. That means we give some value to the variable, and then we test the condition, and then update expression, and then the body of the loop, as we have discussed earlier. That is the syntax as I have displayed here. This one is the syntax. Make sure you note it down and understand it. So, what is the path of execution? How does this work? So first, initialization, and then the test expression. That means the condition will be tested. If it's true, we enter the body of the loop, and after the execution of the set of statements, the statement will be updated, and then again text expression, etc. And if it's false, we get out of the loop and then we execute the next statement. So we're gonna print values from 0 to 2 using while for loop, sorry. So we give int main, int I, so we declare the variable I, and then we write the for iteration statements. The first one is, let's see, what is the first one? Initialization. So where do we initialize the statement? So I equals to 0, that is the initial value I am willing to give. So I gave I equals to 0, and then it should be followed by a semicolon. Don't forget to write the semicolon, and then we wanted to print the numbers from 0 to 2, so we give I less than 2, which is the text expression. Yeah, you were right. And then followed by a semicolon, we give the update statement. Body of the loop. So we created a for loop by using an initializing statement, which is I equals to 0, and then the text expression I less than 2, and then the body of the update expression I plus plus, and then the body of the loop. And then if we execute it, it's going to print out 0, 1, 2 as we want it to. Next one is the while loop. A while loop is a control flow statement that allows a loop statements to be executed as long as the condition is true. A while loop is an entry control loop. You have to remember this. This is very important. A while loop is an entry control loop because a text expression is evaluated before entering the loop. Here, we initialize, and then in for loop we initialize and then the text expression is evaluated. But here first the text expression will be evaluated before entering the loop. So there is no initialization. That means first the text expression will be executed, right? So the syntax is while text expression body of the loop. See? Test expression, if it's true, body of the loop. If it's false, next statement. So I'm going to write the sum of numbers from 1 to 10. So int I, so I have declared a variable I, and I initialized it to 1, and I have also declared a variable of data type int, which is sum, and I have initialized this to 0. So I'm going to write a while loop. In while loop, it is an entry control statement. That means it controls, it tests the expression before entering the body of the loop. So first, what the control goes to while loop. Here I gave I less than or equals to 10, that is the test expression. So first we have 1, so 1 less than or equals to 10. Yeah, it is true. So it enters the body of the loop. Then sum, we have declared earlier, sum equals to sum plus I, that is 0 plus 1, that is 1. Yeah, and then I plus plus, right? And then we give the sum total outside. So in this way, in this format, this works. So remember that while loop is an entry control loop. Before entering the loop, it will check the test expression, and if it's true, it's going to enter into the loop and execute the whole statements written inside it. Do while. The do while loop is an exit control loop. Unlike while loop, it is different from while loop, whereas while is an entry control loop, but here do while is an exit control loop. In do while loop, the condition is evaluated at bottom of the loop after execution of body of the loop. See, as I have discussed, entry control means the test expression will be evaluated at the top before entering the body of the loop. But in do while, the text expression will be, evaluated at the bottom of the loop after the execution of body of the loop. See, this means the body of loop is executed at least once, right? But in while loop, the body is not executed at least once if it's false. But in do while, even if it's false, the body of the loop will be executed at least once. See? So first we write do and then the body of the loop. Outside of the curly braces, we give the while and condition followed by a semicolon. So this is the flow chart. First, body of the loop, test expression, true, and then it goes inside, false gets out. I write a program to display number from 10 to 1 with do while. So you can write different programs using do while and for loop. I will teach more of the programs in detail the next video. So first we want to have a basic idea of what these iteration statements are. So I gave really small examples so that you would be confused with whatever I'm saying. Alright, so to display numbers from 10 to 1, I have declared a variable n and I have given a number 10. I have initialized it to the value 10, and then as per the syntax we have do and then curly braces. Inside the curly braces, we have the set of statements, and after the closing curly braces, we have while, right? So do see out and that means it's going to print end for the first time, and then n minus that means it's going to reduce it will be reduced by 1. It will be reduced by 1, and then the condition will be tested. So while n greater than 0, so here n is declared, that is 10, and then n minus which is 9. 9 is greater than 0, true, so and it goes into the body of the loop again. So this is how do while statement works. So this is basically iteration statements, and they are followed by nesting of loops, and which are like 2 or more loops inside a loop, right, which is called nesting of loops. See, a loop which contains another loop is called nesting of loop, as we have discussed earlier. This is the end of today's video, and I will summarize what we have discussed today. So we discussed about iteration statements. Iteration statements are those statements for which a condition is given, and the set of statements will be executed until the condition is satisfied. So there are basically 3 types of iteration statements: for, while, do while. First statement is the easiest statement, and the syntax of first statement is for brackets. The syntax of first statement is for brackets text expression, and the syntax of first statement is for brackets initialization followed by a semicolon, and then test expression followed by a semicolon with update expression, and followed by the body of the loop. The first statement is one of the easiest statements, and then while, it is the entry control loop, and do while is the exit control loop. So in do while, the set of statements will be executed at least once. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. The road to success is still being built. Make sure you write the notes.